President Trump issuing a stern warning to North Korea today. Maximum sanctions and pressure will remain until the rogue nation gives up its nukes. But the president is optimistic that he can do what no other U.S. president has managed to do, and that is denuclearize the Korean peninsula and bring peace to the region. This, as we've just learned, Kim Jung Un indeed made a surprise visit to China this week. Kim Jung Un telling President Xi he is committed to denuclearization. But can we trust that? Can we trust Kim? Can we trust the Chinese? I mean, we have been played and played and played, right? So we're getting a little wise to this here. North Korea, meanwhile, we have just learned, is firing up a new nuclear reactor. So much for that denuclearization talk, right? Joining me right now, former Assistant Secretary of State under President George W. Bush, Robert Charles. Robert, good to see you. Do you believe any of this?
I think that you have to keep expectations extremely low. We have long wanted a denuclearized North Korea. If you go back to 1985, Ronald Reagan was the guy that got the first nuclear non-proliferation treaty signed, but it took them, supposed to be 18 months for the working agreement to go in after that. It took them 6 years. The IAEA went in every year, and at the end of the day, they got cheated on all along the way until 1998 when they had enough plutonium for 2 bombs. There were then 7 rounds of negotiations with them, which produced just about nothing. And so I think the caution is that North Korea could, right here, be playing for time to miniaturize a nuclear weapon. On the other hand, that would be a horrific mistake on North Korea's part. And I think one of the reasons you see Kim in China is that China realizes for the first time this is very real. Mm-hmm. The arrival of Donald Trump as president was really and his in-your-face diplomacy is really an action-forcing event for China and for North Korea. And what you see here is really rather remarkable historically. You see sanctions that are real for the first time sticking. You see China joining those sanctions, which is really quite remarkable in its own right. Mm-hmm. President Trump has already achieved a cessation of missile launches for the time being, and he's got North Korea coming to the table. So all of that is good, but I say expectations have to be kept extremely low. What I think is that China realizes that Donald Trump could be the quintessential classic madman that you have here. Well, by which I mean just so you get the full picture. Right. Ronald Reagan used this strategy in bringing the Soviets to the table. It is a strategy that was used effectively by Nixon with China, casting himself as able and willing to do almost anything. And I think that, military action or kinetic action, if this fails, is a very real possibility. And China realizes that. And I think they also realize that a conflict on this peninsula would be devastating. You'd have 25 million refugees from North Korea flooding their borders. You'd mobilize their military. They do not want an exchange here. And so I think China is putting pressure on North Korea. Is denuclearization possible? I want to keep the expectations down in the single digits, but in fact, it is possible. And Donald Trump has done more on this topic than anybody since Ronald Reagan.
Let me ask you about this, Robert, because he brought in Ambassador Bolton, and Ambassador Bolton has been on the show many a time, and he has called for the reunification of the peninsula. He'd like to put Kim Jung Un off in a little corner somewhere. Do you think just merely bringing him in is also a bit of a threat to China, a threat to North Korea, because they know that between President Trump and Ambassador Bolton, you're talking about a team there that really does indeed mean business?
I think you couldn't have said it better, Trish. At the end of the day, John Bolton has to be the worst nightmare for North Korea and Iran, and probably China and Russia, because I worked with John at the State Department. John is very single-minded in his thinking, but he is although he's not really inflexible, he's a very agreeable guy if you pause to listen. But John is very serious. He's lived the last 35 years of public diplomacy and private diplomacy on these issues. He's a smart guy, Yale Law School. He's almost 70 this year. He knows what he's talking about. And at the end of the day, if I'm North Korea and I'm China, I need to sit up straight at this point and realize there isn't going to be a second go-round here. Yeah. This is either going to work and you're going to get to denuclearization and Donald Trump will get the credit, but so will China, and so will North Korea, and so will our allies, or we're going to be in a whole new world. And this is an A-frame environment.